What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Firefly's Lightcone options. And although the destruction path doesn't really have a lot of break damage or break oriented Lightcones, there are a few Lightcones that actually fit on Firefly really well because of how her design is. So if you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video, leaving a comment in the comment section below, and consider subscribing to the channel. Before we get into the video, we're going to hear about our friends over at LootBar. I am never paying full price for Stellar Jades ever again because I can get them at a massive discount and it's 100% legal and 100% safe. Click the link in the description below. It's going to take you to lootbar.gg. There you can find your game like HSR or Genshin Impact, because this does work with Genshin Impact as well. All you have to do is select your user ID, select your server, make sure this information is 100% accurate. And once you do that, you're going to select the product you want to purchase. Click the purchase button, and within minutes, you're going to receive your Stellar Jades in the game. It's that simple. And the best part is that in game, this would have been $300, but in lootbar.gg, I was able to save $47, and that is an insane amount of money. Check out lootbar.gg, link in the description below. For the basis of this video, we're going to be using a base of Firefly with the new break set and the new planar set, wearing an S5 Fall of an Aeon. It's not here, but it's because I have it down here. But S5 Fall of an Aeon, we're going to focus on getting a attack chest and an attack orb. We have the 529 base attack from the Lightcone plus our 524, which is pretty low, but 524 base attack from Firefly, 43% on chest, 43% in orb. And just with the chest and the orb, we're able to get over the 1800 mark, and we're able to start collecting break effects. We already get ourselves around 41% break effect with this amount of attack. When we max out Fall of an Aeon, it's going to give us an extra 18% per stack. We can get 4 of those, so that's going to total about 64% extra attack. And as you can see down here in the break effect from Trace, is going to bring us from 41 all the way to 95, which is an extra 54% break effect, totaling our break effect at 253% break effect. So that's a total of 54% break effect gained just from that Lightcone. And I'm going to just clear the air right now. If we were to swap the values and put the 4-star Lightcone and swap it with the Misha Lightcone, that one has a 476 base attack. And then we also get rid of this. And at S5, it gives you a total of 56%. So it gives you more break effect in a direct way, but because the attack is lower, we're actually going to end up with a lot less break effect. Not a lot less. We end up with about 6% break effect less than if we just run Fall of an Aeon. So that's something to take into consideration. And there we go. We have 253 break effect with this setup in particular. And let's go down here and check what our damage is looking like. I only took into consideration the break formula and then her own super break formula. Harmony MC's break formula or super break, I'm not going to even mention it here because we're only focused on Firefly herself, and she can only do break damage and super break damage that she does herself. So if you take a total, her break damage goes up to 63,000, and if we add up her break damage or her super break damage from one target and then the 2 targets next to it, we're going to add up to about 38,000. So this is pretty much what the number is, but this is just Firefly by herself, so don't worry, she does way more damage than this in a full functional team. But as of right now, this is the numbers we're going to be operating off of, so the base is going to be this. Now, as I previously did, we're going to swap this over back to the 476, add 56% here, and then put these in 0. Obviously, we get some crit rate out of Misha's Lightcone, but we're really not concerned about crit rate because Firefly is not really going to be doing a lot of damage with crit rates, given that her multipliers are hovering around the 2000. Actually, all of them have about 200 multiplier, which is very, very low. She's not going to be doing much damage with her skill or her enhanced skill or enhanced basic. All of her damage is going to come from break, so that's what we're going to focus on. So if we do that, we end up with a little bit less break effect at S5. And so this is the chart how it looks like with Indelible Promise at S5 all the way to S1. If you have only 1 copy, you're going to be losing out about 9 or 10% damage difference from the Fall of an Aeon, which is a completely free-to-play Lightcone. If you've been playing for about 2-3 months, you should have this at least S1. And I know I didn't put him here because everybody should be getting this Lightcone at S5, but even in S1, if you were to compare Fall of an Aeon to Indelible Promise at S1, you would be getting more damage. The only way it would make a difference is if you have this one in S1 and then this one at S5, and then in that case, then obviously go with Indelible Promise because it's a little bit more damage. But since everybody should be aiming to get this bad boy at S5 because it's really, really good, S5 is going to be our base. So Indelible Promise at its worst is about 10% less, and at its best is about 2% less. So it's the damage difference S5 to S5 is really not that big. So if you have both, you can just choose whatever. I mean, I would still go for Fall of an Aeon. Or if you're going to use Fall of an Aeon on somebody else, then obviously do Indelible Promise. Because Fall of an Aeon is a very good multi-purpose Lightcone. You can use it on pretty much every destruction character. So her signature Lightcone actually has 476 flat attack, which is the exact same as every other 4-star Lightcone that you see. So she has a very, very low signature Lightcone flat attack, but it gives you 60% break effect, and also gives you a 24% vulnerability increase, or the enemy takes 24% more break damage, and it acts as a vulnerability, kind of like how her own passive works. So this goes from 20% to 44%, and there we go. And now let's go down here and check out the comparison. So from the Fall of an Aeon at S5 to our signature Lightcone is going to be about 32% damage difference, just Firefly herself. The only reason that this is the case is because the Lightcone gives you a little bit of a buff in the vulnerability department. If we were to put this back down to 20, right? Let's just do a little test. If we put this back down to 20, the damage is 63 and 38, which is 63 and 38, which is about the same. Actually, the Fall of an Aeon is actually a little bit higher because this is 63.2 and then this is 63.5. So Fall of an Aeon could be higher had it not been for the vulnerability, but because we have the vulnerability, we have to add it. It's an extra 24% damage increase that we're going to get over here, and that is why the Lightcone works. But when it comes to actual break effect, it actually doesn't make a lot of a difference. Actually, if you were to calculate it, which is calculated right here, if you remember, with the Fall of an Aeon, you actually get 253 break effect, and with the signature Lightcone, you actually get 251 because you're not getting a lot of attack. Actually, you're getting less attack because you pretty much have a flat attack of a 4-star Lightcone. So yeah, Fall of an Aeon actually really, really good Lightcone for Firefly. I don't personally think you need the signature Lightcone. I'm probably not going to end up going for the signature Lightcone, but I'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But Fall of an Aeon works wonders, and it's all because of the trace, of the conversion trace right here. This conversion trace works really well. I know it's at 1%, but here I have it at 0.8. So it's 0.8% of the break effect, which makes Fall of an Aeon pretty much a very solid competitor when it comes to Lightcones. Obviously, signature Lightcone, because of that vulnerability, is going to give you a little bit more damage, but it's just expected. They want to sell this Lightcone, so it is what it is. All right, for all my visual people, I have a little graph here showing that signature Lightcone is a 32% yield, or 32% difference between the Fall of an Aeon, and then the Indelible Promise is a little bit worse performer than the Fall of an Aeon. And here's a little graph to show kind of like how it plays out. Signature Lightcone here, obviously 32%. The 0 right here is the Fall of an Aeon, and everything else that is being compared to Fall of an Aeon actually does a little bit worse. So if you have either of the Fall of an Aeon or the Indelible Promise at S5, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. Just pick whichever. They both work. They're both really good. And obviously, if you're going for the signature Lightcone, make sure you check out the link in the description to get cheaper jades. And that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And until next time, guys. See ya.